Everybody, how you all doing? Welcome back to my video series here, folks. Today we're going to be talking about the title of my movie, which is You Don't Have to See the Whole Staircase to Take the First Step. I'm going to talk about this in the next several minutes here and tell you exactly what that can mean to you and how that can get you to where you are now, from where you are now to where you want to be faster than you ever thought possible. So folks, I'm going to give you a quick story here to kind of jump into it about not seeing the whole staircase, but taking the first step, and give you a personal life story here. Folks, I recently wanted to get a new car stereo installed into my car. So I wanted to not only get the car stereo, but I wanted to have it installed in my car, and I was going to do it myself. So I knew what I wanted. I knew I was going to get it. I didn't know exactly how the journey might look to, getting that completed successfully, but I knew what I want. And that was the most important thing. So let me get into it, folks. And before I got it, after I decided I wanted my car stereo unit, I went on the internet to do some research. And I researched many different models, many different brands, all different kinds of features. I wanted to find exactly what I wanted. And I narrowed it down to 3 stereo units. From there, I did more research, looked online, read reviews, really looked to spend a few days doing this, and finally got it down to 1 stereo unit. I then went ahead and ordered that stereo unit, and I realized, I need more than the stereo unit. I had to go to a second website to order what they call a mounting bracket, which will hold the stereo unit in place, because it was a custom head unit. I had to order that. Then I went to a third website to order tools, just a small bag of these tools that will help pry out some of my car accessories to get in so I could install the car stereo unit. So I went to 3 different websites, finally got everything in the mail that I needed. I was like, great, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing installed. I go to get it installed, and I realize that I needed 2 more additional parts. I needed a wiring harness and a wiring harness adapter. These may not mean much to you, but I had to go to one of these places. I had to go to a junkyard to find the wiring harness. I ended up going to 3 different junkyards. Finally, on the last junkyard I visit, I found the piece I needed. Then, if that wasn't enough, I had to go to Best Buy to get the wiring harness adapter to make everything work and function. So I made it, about 4 different trips that day, today actually. Got all the stuff I needed. Finally got back. I'm like, I'm so excited. I'm just going to get this thing installed and finally be done with it. So I go and start installing everything, pulling out all the pieces from the car that I need to pull out, putting everything back in, cutting about 40 different wires and splicing them. Finally getting all those wires correctly connected, put everything back into place where it needed to be. Go to turn the car with my key to make sure that the stereo worked, and nothing came on. No music, nothing. So I was about to throw in the towel, and at that point I said, let me just make sure. Let me check all the fuses just to make sure that the fuses are all good. So I went through every single fuse until I got down to the second to last fuse, and that happened to be the culprit. That was the one that blew. I replaced that fuse and everything came back on with the music, the stereo working perfectly, smoothly, sounding amazing. I was ecstatic. I was so happy to get it finally going. And I knew I was going to get it. I just didn't know how the journey would look to getting there. So how does this apply to your life, folks? You can use this in your business. You can use this in your personal life to get you from where you are now to where you want to be faster than you thought possible. It comes down to a knowing inside. I knew that I was going to get my desired results. I didn't know how it would look, but I started by taking the first step, which is actually deciding on what you want. And then the next step, I could go find out solutions of how I was going to get that, right? Each step I further and further progressed, but I tweaked as I went. And I adjusted. I made some course corrections along the way, but all along I knew what I was going to get. I knew what I wanted, and I knew my desired result. So take this out, apply this to your own life, folks, because it will work if you do it, and you will end up getting the results you want. The only thing that's stopping you now between what you want, you know, from where you are to what you want, is simply a time delay. That's it, a time lapse. So keep focusing on what it is that you want and knowing you're going to get it. The action steps will appear for yourself. You know, they'll appear for you, and you'll know exactly what to do. So I'm going to leave you with some music, folks. Thanks for joining me today. Show you my unit here real quick. I'll leave you here with a song. This is a color changing unit. It's really cool. And I wish you guys the best. We'll see you next time.
Oh, brother, I can't get through.